Hey guys, Desolate Magic here. My allergies are tripping out today and I feel like crap, but you know what made me feel even worse? The ban announcement, or a lack thereof, because they only banned one card. I think we needed 5 cards minimum. I think I said 8 was on my wish list. And looking at the online community response, everybody's pretty much on the same page with that. It's pretty rare for the community to demand more bans, in general in the last 10 years of Magic. But this year and even last year, everybody wants everything banned because Standard is just such an overpowered format right now. And about 70 to 90% of Standard players think that the power level is too high, according to Mark's own poll. And I say up to 90 because the vast majority of people who voted for I like the power level literally left a comment saying, I don't play Standard. That's why I said Standard players. So anyway, if you didn't catch it, they banned Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, and that's it. And the mental gymnastics and gaslighting bullshit in this article are amazing, so let's break it down. And by the way, make sure you watch the background gameplay in this video. Oh my gosh. We've been keeping a close eye on the emerging Zendikar Rising Standard format, but still haven't done anything about it over its first week of availability on Magic the Gathering Arena and Magic Online. And then they don't mention paper, I wonder why. With millions of games having already been played on digital platforms, early data and results, and events from this past weekend, which, oh my gosh, did you see them, have shown, pretty strongly, have shown, yes, that multicolor ramp decks featuring Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, Lotus Cobra, and Omnath, Locus of Creation, are a problem in the new post-rotation metagame. Yes, you designed Landfall, and you went way too far with it. Is anybody surprised? And then Uro is not even the new card. They're literally saying Lotus Cobra and Omnath have been out for 3 days in paper, and they're already a problem. So play design and play testing R&D screwed up their job again. I mean, is anybody surprised? So they go on to say, while Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath was a powerful and contentious card in the pre-rotation standard environment, yeah, it ruined the game for a year. It's literally a free card. We wanted to allow the metagame to adapt. Well, there's nothing you can do other than counterspell it, so... Oh, or graveyard clear it, which are stupidly narrow ways to deal with it. So yeah, they thought it was going to adapt to the last set of standard changes in the imminent rotation. Oh, are you saying that rotation fixed nothing and there's still a bunch of broken crap that carried over? I never heard anybody say that except for everybody online, everywhere, and me. So they wanted to see what rotation did before making a decision. You should have banned Uro about 6 months ago, or 12 months ago. When did it come out? So blah, 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 going forward environment, who cares, shut up. This weekend's environments underscored that the 4-color Omnath decks are dominating early play. Yeah, it was in the top 50, it was like 30 of the decks or 35, it was ridiculous. Free mana too early and free card draw and free life gain with no penalty. And you could just load up your graveyard and do it again because it doesn't exile itself. What's wrong with that? Clearly, they didn't go far enough, though. I mean, I'm not saying that Uro wasn't a problem, but I'm not saying that that was the only problem. You might be watching the gameplay right now in the background, for example. So in order to weaken these post-rotation ramp strategies, we're choosing to ban Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath in Standard, and absolutely dead-ass nothing else, so screw you. Our goal is to bring these decks down to a level where they are still appealing and competitive. Once again, may I reference the gameplay going on right as I talk right now in the background. So they wanted them to still be appealing and competitive. If that's what you want to call what the hell's going on in the background right now, then you're an idiot. But the natural metagame forces are enough to keep them in check. Wrong. In general, we prefer this approach to overshooting the mark and removing an archetype from viability. You should take all of Tier 1 and cut its head off simultaneously. That would bring Standard back down to a good level. So, however, we've certainly noted that this weekend's strong results for the 4-color Omnath deck will continue, you think, to watch... Oh, we will continue. I thought they were it will continue. Yeah, I would have continued. But we will continue to watch how that strategy in the overall metagame adjusts in the coming weeks. It won't adjust. It'll be a disaster. I'm sick of reading this. What they needed to do was ban number 1 Scute Mob, number 2 priority was Lotus Cobra, number 3 was Uro. So they missed the first 2, clearly. And then, honestly, with just the landfall creatures that we got, they should probably ban Cultivate too. That one, it's hard to make that call, but it would be one that's very high on the danger list. They also haven't banned Hydra's Growth, which is obnoxious. They haven't banned anything with Mutate. That, what was that thing called? Starks or whatever, where you just get unlimited free casting? That's gotta go. Hell, Winota's gotta go. If you want to talk about free casting, but back in Mutate land, the 2 black ones gotta go too, for the unlimited creature removal for free. And if you're about to say, but Des, nobody plays that. They will, because they have. Remember, half the sets are gone now, so half the strategies are gone now. people have played mutate stacks in the past, and those were the problem cards in it. So if we remove, landfall unlimited free mana on turn 3 or whatever the hell, what are they going to resort to? I'm smart enough to have watched the game over the last year to know that that's what people will lean back on, and I still don't want that in the game. Speaking of that, Zenith Flare. Nobody wants that stupid gimmicky deck in the game, and it is the most non-interactive thing I have ever seen. Mill Crab and Teferi's Tutelage. Everybody hates Mill. That deck is the most boring. It's right up there with the boringness of Zenith Flare, where you just cycle Flare. Wow, that's so exciting, where you're like drawing cards and literally don't give a shit what you draw. That's just fantastic. Fiery Emancipation and Torbran are way overdue for a ban. And then the Clover Innkeeper horseshit. Pick one and ban it. I don't even care at this point. Clearly Innkeeper is the problem. Get rid of it. And a lot of people want the what is it, Fae of Wishes gone, where you can just Swiss Army yourself into 15 cards. Oh, what do I need exactly right now to win the game in my already overpowered triple trigger deck? Cool. And I just won the game with it. It's bullshit, and it favors best of one. Bare minimum, that card should be banned in best of one. A lot of people said they want Brazen Borrower gone, just not because of its power level, it's perfectly appropriate, just because it's so annoying. If you annoy the players and make the game not fun, they leave and go play a different game. So you got to be aware of that instead of just power level and broken deck percentages. Honestly, I don't even want Garruk in the game, because there's nothing you can do to get to him other than like a direct kill or a flyer. That's it. You touch those wolves, you lose. So if you're going to try to get to him with creatures, it's over for you. It's a one-turn instant emblem. I mean, a one-turn ult. That's ridiculous. The number one most hated card in the game right now is Ugin, and they know it. I mean, you can't just say, I hope a deck never gets to 8. They 100% should have banned Ugin this time around. I'm sure I'm missing some things, but Mill, Zenith Flare cycling, any kind of mana ramp shit with Lotus and Landfall and Cultivate, that's gotta go. Hydra's Growth, you can still put it on hexproof creatures, that's still a problem. Counter dump Hydra, I don't know if you guys have played against that early on. That deck needs something to be done about it, and something needs to be done about white life gain for the last 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, or I don't know. When did Amonkhet come out? Really, I think Heliod needs to be banned. I think that card's going way too far. And then that new white card that just says dump counters, that's part of the counter deck. I'd prefer to see the Hydra gone, but the one where it's a Johnny's Pride mate, but without the entire supporting deck. You just blink and you get a free counter. And you can put it on anything, not just herself. It's literally a Johnny's Pride mate, but better. And then on top of it, they basically reprinted a Johnny's Pride mate, but only on Arena. So those were 2 huge mistakes. So yeah, Pseudo Proliferate, that deck's way too powerful. If you ban the rest, you got to get rid of that because it'll be all that people play. And I think I've identified pretty much all the like out of control, obnoxious, crazy decks. I'm probably missing something, but just to give you an example of what would have to be removed from standard for it to be vaguely, remotely appropriate power leveled and playable, and they're not going to do it. They are not going to do it. They're going to be like, look at all that deck diversity. Yeah, it's all broken shit. We want it all gone. But look at all the diversity of options of broken crap that people can play. Wow, that's impressive. Thanks, Wizards. So that's the real state of things, just if you want the absolute most based opinion. So they go on to say it's unusual for us to make a change this early into the season. No, shut up. Bad Wizards. You're going into timeout while I tell you the truth. It's unusual for them to wait so long to ban Uro and to think that a rotation is somehow going to make an overpowered, like in a vacuum card, somehow appropriate. When you literally added landfall to the game. You knew you were adding landfall to the game. If you didn't see this coming, you're a bunch of idiots. You should have banned Uro about a month after he came out. But in this case, we're targeting a card that has shown signs of being problematic in the past. See, there it is. There it is. And which continued to display its dominance during events this past weekend. Additionally, the speed at which high-level digital play attacks new formats, I don't really know what they mean by that, but if they mean just how quick you can dominate the game on turn 3 and 4, yeah. Particularly when digital play is the only high-level play available. Oh, that's what they're blaming, yeah, because people never net-decked in paper. Means that metagames advance past the early stages far faster than they used to. No, everybody copies MTGO in Arena in paper. Like, nobody's, like, building a new paper deck, taking a week to ship the cards in, and then, like, pushing the metagame from there. They just copy what's going on online, obviously. And they just go to MTG Goldfish and have the website tell them what to build, if you want to get real. That website should be ashamed of themselves. They should shut it down. I mean, they are the biggest promoters of toxic, high-level, as rapid as possible net decking. It's really awful, and Wizards actually wanted them to shut down. They kind of threatened them at one point. That's a whole different video topic, but that did happen. So they're blaming digital and the players playing digital for how things got here. Not their own play testing, not their own play design, not their pushed bullshit, not their conscious decision to make standard more powerful. None of that is at fault. It's just digital. Well, they've got their scapegoat so they can continue to be delusional and never blame themselves and never take responsibility. Except for all the backlash they're currently getting on social media. Hopefully that gives them a clue and snaps them back to reality. Please go contribute to it. So we prefer to make this change now so that players can continue to get the most enjoyment out of post-rotation standard. Are you out of your mind? There is no enjoyment to be had, only sadness and depression and torture. I once again referenced the gameplay I put on this video. So yes, we're gonna get the most enjoyment out of post-rotation standard, which is one of the most exciting times in Magic to explore and innovate. Shut your lying delusional mouth, you assholes. Standard is worse than it has ever been in the game's history. I don't care if you bring up Jace and Callblade and all that shit, this is worse. This is more widespread, and they fix those with a single ban. Finally, I'd like to emphasize that this banner restricted change, our focus was primarily on standard and historic with an eye for upcoming 2020 season grand finals. Changes to other formats if needed will be included in future updates. So they considered historic and didn't think anything needed to be changed in it. That's amazing. I don't even want to get into that. Historic is goblins, elves, and shrines the end. And I heard there's an even more toxic tech that somebody created after I stopped playing it. So that's beyond any hope because of the anthology cards they injected. I mean, they'd have to ban every card in the last two anthologies and then, like, start over from there. They'd have to use that as a launching point to also ban everything that should have been banned in standard and then go on. So yeah, they fixed absolutely nothing. They got rid of the top deck. Oh boy. So what? Landfall ramp is still playable. We still have Scute Swarm. We still have that Felidar card. We still have the Cobra, and we still have Cultivate. That's a problem. So this did absolutely nothing. If you were looking forward to this making some semblance of progress into standard becoming playable, then you should have seen this coming along with the rest of us. This fixed nothing. We all knew they needed to ban, closer to 8 to 10 cards, and they didn't do it. So is anybody surprised? So yeah, just go join into the absolute angry mob giving them backlash online so that they, get a clue, and I'll see you guys next video.